Atticus put his hand on Tom's shoulder as he whispered. Atticus took his coat off. He left the courtroom, but not by his usual exit. He must have wanted to go home the short way, because he walked quickly down the middle aisle towards the south exit. I followed the top of his head as he made his way to the door. He did not look up. Someone was punching me, but I was reluctant to take my eyes from the people below us and from the image of Atticus's lonely walk down the aisle. Miss Jean Louise? I looked around. They were standing all around us and in the balcony on the opposite wall. The Negroes were getting to their feet. Reverend Sykes's voice was as distant as Judge Taylor's. Miss Jean Louise, stand up. Your father's passing. Well, I'm Miss Donovan and I'm a history teacher. My favourite book is To Kill a Mockingbird. I think I love it because of the human spirit in it, the real sort of search for dignity, and dignity at a time when African Americans in America were denied their rights, they were denied their position as equals in society. And I think it's a real story of courage and seeking justice, even when it was difficult. So the book is based in 1930s America, and it is about a man, Tom Robinson, who was accused of raping a white girl. And because of the context of the time when America was very racist, his word, his denial, his innocence is never actually believed, and it's assumed that because Mayella Ewell has made the accusation and she is white, that he is guilty. And actually in this context, in 1930s America, African Americans did not get a fair trial. But Atticus Finch, a very courageous and inspirational lawyer, takes on the case because he believes in innocence until proven guilty, and he also believes that black people should be treated with dignity. As a result then, Atticus teaches his children actually about the way to treat people, and that you don't ever really understand a person until you step in their shoes and walk around. And for me, that is very inspirational. I've tried to live by that in my life as well. So it's Jean Louise, but she's known better as Scout in the book. So it's actually a child's perspective, which is really nice because you get that sense of innocence, and she's really trying to understand the world and trying to understand her place in it. And she is taught largely by her father. She also learns from lots of other characters, and she learns from people who perhaps you wouldn't always expect her to take note of, even characters that perhaps you're not expected to like. You come to respect because you see them through her eyes. I think the first page, difficult to read, maybe you might have to look up a few words in a dictionary, but actually I learned that language from reading this book. And as you go through, it just very much is a human story and something that you can identify with no matter what your age, I think. And I've tried to recommend this book to people young and old because I think it's got a lot to teach us in society. I first read this book when I was 13. I was actually a student in Stanwell, and it was assigned to me as summer reading, summer holidays, and we were told to read half the book. Of course, I read the first half and couldn't wait to read the second half. I'd actually read it 3 times by the time I came back after the summer holiday. Just absolutely fell in love with it. And being a story about African Americans in the 1930s, I really fell in love with that history and actually wanted to learn more about it. And I definitely think it's the reason why I went on to study then race history at GCSE, and it's the area of history I still love the most today.